It's 11:45 a.m. Oh God, I had a presentation at 9:30. Well, this is not new to me. Dear fellow Toastmasters, is it just me or even you guys are horrible at time management? Please show with your hands. Great. It feels good to know that this is a generic problem and not a genetic one. I know, like, I just don't understand this concept of time. It's like an enigma. Sometimes it feels like there's so much time and it's not passing by, and sometimes you won't understand how it went by. Crazy, right? But one thing about time I know for sure is that I am bad at managing it. I know what you guys are thinking. Hasmitha, why are you so frustrated with time? What happened? Well, let me tell you the story. Once upon a time, in the month of warm summer, March 2020, a grave terror struck upon the race of Earth. I was stuck at home with absolutely nothing to do because I had already binge watched all the episodes of Friends for 4 times now. At that time, I wasn't aware about this new virus. No, not the coronavirus, the productivity ka keeda. Yes. One day I opened my LinkedIn, which I never do. I did by mistake on that grave day. And I saw people are doing online courses. They're posting 50 certificates, 100 certificates. They're learning new skill, new language. They're doing internships, so on. I'm like, oh my God, what am I doing with my life? Ladies and gentlemen, that's when I got severely infected with this Kida. I had severe symptoms, various symptoms. Like I took up 4 internships, 3 online courses. I joined Toastmasters and I even cleaned my room for the sake of it. It was all fun and games in the beginning. And then I realized things are overlapping. How do I manage this? I was too deep in the water even before I could realize that I didn't know how to swim. If you have to know one trait about me, one trait is that I am not a quitter. Well, you can call me lazy, lethargic, and even a couch potato for that matter, but I'm not a loser couch potato. So I wasn't ready to back out from any of the tasks I had already taken up. You see, I wanted to do my best in this lockdown, or in general, in fact. So, like always, when you're troubled, where do you go? To your mentor, to your master, your professor. And as a millennial, I went to Google, my only mentor. So then I Googled effective ways to manage time. Google gave me a huge list of things, this principle, that method, various aspects. The first thing that struck to me was 80 by 20 principle. No, Rakesh, it's not 30, 60 or 90, it's 80 by 20 principle. It was a very simple principle to begin with, which threw me off. I'm like, so simple. I don't think this is gonna work. Then I tried a bunch of other various complicated techniques. They were great, but they were time consuming to do themselves. So I'm like, okay, if complicated things are not working out, let me try the simple one. So that's when I started off by doing the 80-20 principle. So you're wondering, what is this 80 by 20 principle? It's very simple, guys. The first thing about the principle says, do more by doing less. Sounds wonderful, right? We all want to do less. Who wants to do more? I'm like, okay, tell me more. So the article said, you know, you have long-term goals and short-term goals. And majority of the time, your short-term goals are in order to achieve your long-term goals. Makes sense. Then they said, write on all your tasks on a sheet and divide them. What are your short-term goals and what are your long-term goals? I did it. And it said, in your short-term goals, you will have 20% of a task that are very important. That will give you 80% of the result. In my case, for example, like doing my internship task or writing a speech for the upcoming week in Toastmasters actually gives me the 80% of the benefits. For you, it might be different, right? For you, learning a new language might be giving you the 80% of the productivity. Maybe doing your office work gives you the 80% of the productivity, right? Learning for your GMAT gives you the 80% of the productivity. That's the best thing about this principle, that it is very personalized. It is important to notice that what tasks are deeming and immediate, and then to reflect on how much priority to shut on that task. This sounds very interesting and intriguing. And this book I picked up later by Richard Koch, this explains the 80 by 20 principle in detail for businesses, for individuals. And there are various aspects to this on how to improve the productivity, how to improve, your quality of work. And I truly recommend you to take this book up and read, because the principle may be so simple, but when you start doing it, you'll understand it's very effective. Well, take my example. I'm here for the meeting on time, so it definitely worked for me. With that, I would like to say, guys, stop asking time. Why are you running? Why are you running time? Rather, think for yourself. Are you falling back? Thank you so much for this opportunity. With that, I give it over to the TM.
Thank you, TM Hasmitha.